My dear friends, if last night you tossed and turned, if you struggled to fall asleep, or if you woke up at 2 a.m., staring at the ceiling, unable to drift back to sleep, then I need you to really pay attention to this video, because sleep is not just rest. After the age of 60, every single hour of deep sleep becomes a medicine, protecting your brain, your heart, and even adding years to your life. A concerning study published in the Stroke Journal, 2021, found that chronic insomnia in people over 60 can raise the risk of stroke by as much as 47%. In other words, just a few restless nights could put your brain and blood vessels in twice the danger compared to your peers who sleep deeply and well. Let me put it this way. If you lose sleep tonight, by tomorrow morning your brain may have aged an entire year. And that's not an exaggeration. Scientists at the University of California, Berkeley, 2017, showed that even one sleepless night can weaken memory, disrupt metabolism, and leave the brain showing changes similar to early aging. So, let me ask you honestly, how many times have you woken up at 2 a.m., lying awake for hours, unable to fall back asleep? How many mornings have you dragged yourself out of bed heavy, foggy, and with no joy to face the day? If this sounds familiar, your body is sending out distress signals. Because poor sleep doesn't just leave us tired. It opens the door to high blood pressure, diabetes, depression, and even Alzheimer's disease. But here's the good news. And the reason I want you to stay with me until the very end of this video. Hidden right there in your kitchen is a simple, inexpensive, often overlooked ingredient, one that could be the key to restoring your natural deep sleep in just a few nights, if you use it the right way. As a physician who has spent more than 30 years studying sleep and the health of older adults, I'll walk you through the science, share real-life patient stories, and point out the common mistakes that secretly rob seniors of the rest they deserve. And let me be clear, these are not internet tips and tricks. Everything I share here is backed by published research, proven in real patients, and has transformed the lives of countless older adults I've cared for. So if sleep truly matters to you, if you don't want yourself or your loved ones facing the risk of stroke, memory decline, or rapid aging, please stay with me from start to finish. Because I believe, with just a few small changes to your evening habits, you can start to feel a real difference within the very first week. My dear friends, many people believe that insomnia is just a normal part of getting older. But that's not entirely true. Poor sleep after 60 isn't simply about aging. It's about what's happening inside our bodies. There's a whole biological battle going on, and the hormones that regulate sleep start to fall out of balance. That's what makes it so hard for the brain and body to settle into deep, restorative rest. Let me explain this in the simplest way possible, but still with the science you deserve to know. The three key hormones of sleep: melatonin, serotonin, cortisol. Melatonin, the body's natural sleep switch. This hormone is produced by the pineal gland in your brain. Think of it as your body's signal to turn off the lights. As evening falls, melatonin rises, telling your brain it's time for bed. But here's the problem. After age 60, melatonin levels drop by nearly 50% compared to younger years. Sleep Medicine Reviews, 2014. That's why so many older adults fall asleep but wake up after just a few hours, unable to drift back into slumber. Serotonin, the bridge between mood and sleep. Serotonin is known as the happy hormone, but it also serves as the raw material your body uses to make melatonin. When serotonin is low, because of stress, depression, lack of activity, or poor diet, your brain struggles to produce enough melatonin. The result: restless nights and shallow sleep. Cortisol, the silent saboteur. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It should be high in the morning to wake you up, then fall at night to let you rest. But as we age, this rhythm breaks down. Cortisol stays high in the evening, keeping the brain on alert mode even when you're lying in bed. In other words, instead of calming down, the brain of an older adult often becomes a city that never sleeps. Aging and the vicious cycle of insomnia. When these three hormones fall out of sync, here's what happens. You sleep less and have a harder time falling asleep. You wake up multiple times during the night. You don't get enough deep sleep, the stage where the brain and body truly heal. Research published in Nature Reviews Neurology, 2017, shows that chronic sleep loss leads to a buildup of beta-amyloid plaques in the brain, the very hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. This explains why seniors who struggle with insomnia also face a higher risk of dementia. But that's not all. Poor sleep weakens the immune system, strains the heart, and makes blood sugar swing wildly. Another study in the Journal of Sleep Research, 2021, found that adults over 65 who sleep less than 5 hours a night are 48% more likely to develop type 2 diabetes compared to those who sleep well. I'll never forget one of my patients, Alina, age 68. She came to my clinic exhausted, telling me she barely slept 3-4 hours a night. She often woke at 2 or 3 a.m. and lay staring at the ceiling until morning. Tests revealed her melatonin was very low, while her cortisol stayed abnormally high at night. This put her in a destructive cycle. Insomnia, right arrow fatigue, right arrow stress, right arrow higher cortisol, right arrow even worse insomnia. Her health quickly declined. Her memory weakened, her blood sugar worsened, and she felt hopeless. Alina's story is not rare. In fact, millions of older adults worldwide are stuck in this same hormone trap without even realizing it. So here's the big question. How can we escape this trap? Is there a safe, natural way to bring these hormones back into balance, to restore melatonin, support serotonin, and quiet down cortisol so the brain can finally rest? The surprising answer may already be sitting in your kitchen cabinet, a spice our ancestors have trusted for thousands of years, one that modern science is only now uncovering in full depth. That spice is cinnamon. Join me in the next part, where I'll explain why just a pinch of cinnamon may be the golden key to unlocking deep, peaceful sleep for anyone over 60. When most people hear the word cinnamon, they immediately think of that familiar warm spice sprinkled on oatmeal, baked into apple pie, or stirred into coffee. But what many don't realize is that cinnamon has been treasured as a healing medicine for thousands of years, and modern science continues to discover new benefits that our ancestors already seem to know. In traditional Eastern medicine, cinnamon, often called cassia bark or true cinnamon, was viewed as a warming remedy. For centuries, healers prescribed it for colds, stomach upset, poor circulation, and yes, even for sleep difficulties. In the West, cinnamon was considered so valuable that in ancient Rome it was reserved for royalty and the wealthy elite. By the 17th and 18th centuries, cinnamon was worth its weight in gold, sparking fierce trade wars across Asia. Clearly, Its worth has always gone far beyond flavor. Civilizations across the world recognized its healing power long before laboratories ever confirmed it. The fascinating part is that what traditional healers claimed long ago is now being validated by modern research. Cinnamaldehyde, the soul of cinnamon. This is the main compound that gives cinnamon its distinctive aroma and gentle bite. Studies show cinnamaldehyde has anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and calming effects on the nervous system. In fact, a study in the Journal of Neuroinflammation, 2018, found that cinnamaldehyde can reduce neuroinflammation, protecting brain cells and helping the nervous system relax. Polyphenols, nature's antioxidant shield. Cinnamon is packed with polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that help the body fight oxidative stress, the very process that drives aging, neurodegeneration, and chronic disease. In this way, cinnamon acts like a natural bodyguard for the brain, the heart, and the immune system, balancing blood sugar, protecting against diabetes. One landmark study published in Diabetes Care, 2003, found that after just 40 days of supplementing with 1.6 grams of cinnamon per day, people with type 2 diabetes saw significant drops in fasting blood sugar and improved insulin sensitivity. For older adults, this is especially important. Unstable nighttime blood sugar is a common trigger for waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. Cinnamon helps stabilize those levels, allowing sleep to continue uninterrupted, supporting the nervous system, paving the way for deeper sleep. Beyond blood sugar control, more recent studies have shown cinnamon's impact on neurotransmitters, the brain's chemical messengers. According to the Journal of Neuroinflammation, 2018, cinnamon helps reduce overactivity in the nervous system, guiding the brain into a calmer state, the very foundation for deep, restorative sleep. I'll never forget Richard, a 72-year-old gentleman living with type 2 diabetes for more than 15 years. Almost every night he would wake in the middle of the night, heart racing, unable to settle back down. After looking closely, we realized his problem was blood sugar swings at night. I suggested something simple: add a little Ceylon cinnamon to his dinner, alongside a balanced diet. Just 3 weeks later, Richard came back smiling. "Doctor," he told me, "for the first time in years, I slept through the night without waking. I feel like I've gotten 10 years of my life back." His blood sugar was steadier, his energy brighter, and his mood lighter. That, my friends, is the power of a spice most of us take for granted. Now you may be wondering, how do I actually use cinnamon the right way in everyday life? Is sprinkling it on food enough? Or are there special recipes and methods that can truly unlock its full potential for sleep? In the next part, I'll walk you through 4 simple but powerful ways to use cinnamon, from a sprinkle on your evening snack, to a soothing cup of tea, to the calming scent of essential oil, and finally, a bedtime recipe I like to call the golden formula for peaceful sleep. And trust me, you'll be surprised at how much difference just a pinch of cinnamon can make. My dear friends, it's not enough to know that cinnamon can help with sleep. The real question is, how do we use it in the safest, most effective way, especially after 60? In this part, I'll share with you 4 simple, science-backed ways to use cinnamon in your daily life. Each method comes not only from clinical studies, but also from my years of experience caring for older adults. And I'll point out a few small details, because trust me, if you miss those, the benefits may fade away. Method 1. Sprinkle cinnamon on your evening meal. Small habit, big impact. This is the simplest method, but it's often overlooked. Just half a teaspoon of cinnamon powder on your evening foods like warm oatmeal at night, Greek yogurt with soft fruit like bananas or apples, a slice of whole grain toast with peanut butter and a dusting of cinnamon. Why does this work? Balances nighttime blood sugar. Cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity. Diabetes Care 2003. Reducing those blood sugar dips that can wake you at 2 or 3 a.m. Soothing aroma. Cinnamaldehyde in cinnamon stimulates the brain's limbic system, the center of emotions and relaxation, helping you ease into rest. Gentle digestive support. Its antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties reduce bloating and indigestion, silent enemies of good sleep. Mary, age 66, told me she often woke up in the middle of the night with hunger pangs. After adding a sprinkle of cinnamon to her evening oatmeal, she said, "My stomach feels calmer, and for the first time I sleep straight through until morning." A quick, easy method almost anyone can do. Method 2. Warm cinnamon ginger tea before bed. If you enjoy something warm and comforting in the evening, this tea is a perfect choice. Simple recipe. 1-2 sticks of Ceylon cinnamon or 1 teaspoon of pure cinnamon powder, 2-3 slices of fresh ginger, 10 ounces of water, about 300 ml. Simmer for 5 minutes, then add 1 teaspoon of honey once cooled slightly. Why does this work? Synergistic effect. Gingerol in ginger plus cinnamaldehyde in cinnamon equals anti-inflammatory, circulation boosting, warming to the body. Nervous system support. A study in the Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicine, 2012, found this tea reduces nervous tension and improves sleep in older adults. Natural pain relief. For seniors with arthritis or nighttime aches, it works like a gentle, natural pain reliever. Thomas, age 70, lived with arthritis that often kept him awake. After 2 weeks of nightly cinnamon ginger tea, he told me, "Not only do I fall asleep easier, but I wake up less often from pain." A soothing, tasty way to relax body and mind before bed. Method 3. Cinnamon essential oil, turning your bedroom into a natural spa. Not everyone wants to eat or drink before bed. For those people, cinnamon essential oil in a diffuser is a wonderful option. How to use. Add 3-5 drops of pure Ceylon cinnamon essential oil to a diffuser or lamp. Run it for 20-30 minutes before bedtime. Inhaled cinnamon molecules travel directly to the limbic system in the brain, right arrow, lowering heart rate, reducing cortisol, and boosting serotonin. Evidence-based complementary and alternative medicine, 2019. It also purifies the air with antibacterial properties, helpful in colder months. Blending with lavender or sweet orange oil doubles the calming effect. Clara, age 65, didn't want to drink anything before bed, worried about nighttime bathroom trips. I suggested cinnamon essential oil in her diffuser. After 10 days, she called me. "My bedroom feels like a peaceful spa, and I fall asleep naturally, almost as if someone is gently rocking me to sleep." A no-drink, no-pill option, perfect for sensitive digestion or kidneys. Method 4. Cinnamon milk, the golden formula for deep sleep. This may be the most popular and beloved method of all. A warm glass of milk with cinnamon combines the best of East and West. Simple recipe. 5 ounces of warm milk, 150 ml dairy or almond milk works. A half teaspoon Ceylon cinnamon powder. Optional, a touch of raw honey. Why is this special? Tryptophan in milk, right arrow serotonin, right arrow melatonin. Helps you feel naturally sleepy. Cinnamaldehyde in cinnamon. Calms the nervous system, stabilizes blood sugar overnight. Polyphenols, antioxidants that help brain cells recover after a long day. Nutrients 2019 confirmed that combining tryptophan-rich foods with anti-inflammatory spices like cinnamon significantly improves sleep quality in older adults. Eleanor, 68, struggled with insomnia for 15 years. After drinking cinnamon milk 30 minutes before bed, she fell asleep faster, and within a month she told me, "I honestly can't remember the last time I slept this peacefully." A delicious, safe, and powerful bedtime ritual, truly the golden formula. But let me make one thing very clear. More cinnamon does not mean better sleep. In fact, using it the wrong way can backfire, causing bloating, liver strain, or even making insomnia worse. So in the next part, I'll reveal the most common mistakes people make with cinnamon and how to avoid them. I promise some of these will surprise you. My dear friends, we've just explored 4 wonderful ways to use cinnamon for deeper sleep. But I need to be very clear, cinnamon is not a miracle cure. Used the wrong way, it can backfire, hurting your liver, upsetting your stomach, or even making insomnia worse. These are the most common mistakes I see in my patients, and chances are you may have made one of them too. Many people think, if a pinch of cinnamon helps, then a whole tablespoon must work even better. That's dangerous thinking. Cassia cinnamon, the cheaper, more common variety, contains high amounts of coumarin. Studies, including one published in Food and Chemical Toxicology, 2010, show that too much coumarin can damage the liver, especially in those who already have chronic liver disease. For healthy adults, the safe limit is only about 1–2 grams of cassia cinnamon a day, roughly 1 small teaspoon. Ceylon cinnamon, however, contains very little coumarin and is much safer for long-term use. Lesson: the right dose matters. Mistake #2, choosing the wrong type of cinnamon. Not all cinnamon is created equal. Cassia cinnamon, cheap, easy to find, but high in coumarin, not safe for heavy or long-term use. Ceylon cinnamon, often called true cinnamon, milder flavor, extremely low in coumarin, much safer for daily use. If you plan to use cinnamon daily, always choose Ceylon. Mistake #3, drinking cinnamon tea too strong or too late. Some believe the stronger the tea, the better the effect. But cinnamon is warming and spicy. Too strong at night can cause heartburn and stomach irritation, speed up your heart rate slightly, increase nighttime urination, ironically making insomnia worse. The sweet spot, just 4–5 ounces, 100–150 ml of light tea, 30–60 minutes before bed. Mistake #4, mixing cinnamon the wrong way. Brewing it in boiling water, 212 degrees F/100 degrees C. Right arrow, many active compounds evaporate. Adding too much sugar or sweetener, right arrow, cancels out cinnamon's blood sugar benefits. Combining with blood thinners like warfarin, right arrow, increases risk of bleeding. Linda, 67, was taking warfarin for blood clots. She also drank strong cinnamon honey tea every day. Soon she developed frequent gum bleeding. Once she stopped the cinnamon and used a safer method, her condition improved. Lesson: if you're on medications, always ask your doctor before adding cinnamon. Mistake #5, believing cinnamon is a magic pill. Some people expect cinnamon to solve everything: insomnia, diabetes, weight loss, immunity. And in doing so, they ignore the real foundations of health: going to bed at the same time each night, turning off screens before bed, eating balanced meals, and staying physically active. Cinnamon is a wonderful support tool, but it cannot replace a healthy lifestyle. Now, here's something even more important. Not everyone should be using cinnamon freely. For some groups, cinnamon may carry serious risks for the liver, kidneys, or even pregnancy. In the next part, I'll show you exactly who needs to be cautious and who should avoid cinnamon altogether. This could be life-saving for you or someone you love. My dear friends, we've talked a lot about the many benefits of cinnamon, from balancing blood sugar to fighting inflammation to supporting deeper sleep. But I need to emphasize this clearly: not everyone should be using cinnamon freely. In certain situations, cinnamon can become a double-edged sword. Let me walk you through 4 groups of people who should be especially cautious. People with chronic liver or kidney disease. Why? Cassia cinnamon is high in coumarin, which can be toxic to the liver if used long-term. For those who already have chronic liver disease, elevated liver enzymes, or weak kidney function, the body cannot clear coumarin well. Right arrow risk of further damage. Evidence. A study in Food and Chemical Toxicology, 2010, showed that just a few weeks of excessive cassia cinnamon can raise liver enzymes significantly. William, 71, had chronic hepatitis. Friends told him cinnamon could help his blood sugar, so he began taking 2 teaspoons of cassia powder every day. After 1 month, he developed fatigue, jaundice, and blood tests showed his liver enzymes had doubled. Once he stopped cassia and switched to small doses of Ceylon cinnamon, his liver function slowly recovered. If you have liver or kidney problems, always consult your doctor before using cinnamon, and only choose Ceylon cinnamon in small amounts. People taking blood thinners. Why? Coumarin in cinnamon has a mild blood-thinning effect. When combined with medications like warfarin or high-dose aspirin, the risk of bleeding increases. Evidence. The Journal of Clinical Pharmacology, 2012, confirmed that coumarin combined with anticoagulants can prolong clotting time. Helen, 69, was on warfarin for a blood clot. She started drinking cinnamon tea nightly. Within 2 weeks, she developed gum bleeding and easy bruising. When she stopped the cinnamon, her condition improved. If you're on blood thinners, avoid heavy cinnamon use, especially strong tea or powdered supplements. Pregnant or breastfeeding women. Why? Cinnamon is warming and can stimulate the uterus. Some studies suggest high doses may increase uterine contractions. Right arrow raising the risk of miscarriage or premature labor. Evidence. Reproductive Toxicology, 2015, reported that high doses of coumarin and cinnamaldehyde may negatively affect pregnancy. A young pregnant woman tried strong cinnamon tea to ease nausea. Soon she developed abdominal cramping, and her doctor warned her to stop immediately due to miscarriage risk. Pregnant or breastfeeding women should avoid large or regular doses. Small amounts in food are generally fine, but always ask your doctor first. Children and people with allergies. Why? Children's digestive systems are still developing and can be irritated by strong spices. In some people, cinnamon oil can trigger allergic reactions, rashes, itching, or even breathing difficulties. Evidence. Clinical Pediatrics, 2013, reported cinnamon as a common cause of contact dermatitis and airway irritation in children. Linda, 62, told me that every time she diffused cinnamon essential oil, her 4-year-old grandson began coughing and broke out in rashes around his mouth. When she stopped the oil, the symptoms disappeared. Children under 6 should not be given cinnamon regularly, especially essential oils. Anyone with a history of allergies should start with very small amounts first. Liver/kidney disease, higher toxicity risk. Blood thinners, higher bleeding risk. Pregnancy/breastfeeding, risk of uterine contractions. Children/allergies, risk of irritation or adverse reactions. Cinnamon is a good friend to sleep and health, but only when used by the right person in the right way at the right dose. My friends, you've now seen it. From lab research to real-life stories, cinnamon truly has the power to bring back deep sleep for those over 60. But here's the bigger question. What larger lesson can we learn from all of this? In the final part, I'll share the core medical philosophy I've come to believe after more than 30 years of practice. Why sleep is truly nature's free anti-aging medicine, and how one small bedtime ritual can transform the entire experience of growing older. My dear friends, after all the research, the real-life stories, and the clinical experiences I've shared with you today, there's one truth we simply cannot ignore. Sleep is the golden key to health and longevity after 60. We can eat healthy, exercise faithfully, and take our medications on time. But if we lack deep, restorative sleep, half of those efforts are lost. Sleep is when the brain washes away toxins. It's when the immune system works its hardest. It's when the body truly repairs itself. And here's the beautiful part. Sometimes, just one small habit before bed, a sprinkle of cinnamon in your dinner, a warm cup of cinnamon ginger tea, or a gentle glass of cinnamon milk, can transform the quality of your sleep. In over 30 years of practicing medicine, I've learned that good health rarely comes from expensive treatments. It comes from being faithful to small, right choices every single day. A little cinnamon at night, right arrow, steadier blood sugar, calmer nerves. A peaceful sleep environment, right arrow, an easier path into deep rest. A wise choice today, right arrow, a healthier, more vibrant tomorrow. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this. A good night's sleep is nature's free fountain of youth. When you learn how to protect it, you won't just sleep better. You'll live better, live happier, and live longer. So tonight, before bed, try one of the simple cinnamon tips I've shared. Pay attention to how you feel after a few nights, and then come back here and share your story with us. Who knows? Your experience may become the encouragement another person needs to reclaim the peaceful sleep they've been missing for years. If this video was helpful, I'd be so grateful if you could. Tap the like button to support this channel. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss the natural health tips I'll be sharing in the future. And stop by the channel every day, because each day I bring you new insights, true stories, and doctors' advice to help you live healthier, happier, and longer. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. Wishing you a peaceful night, a deep, healing sleep, and a joyful smile waiting for you in the morning.